Guys, welcome to Taipei, Taiwan. Today I'm going to talk about a few differences between the traffic in Taiwan, specifically Taipei, and Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. Number one difference, guys, you can probably tell already, is the cadence of the traffic, the speed, okay? So I'm driving now in the smack middle of the city center. You know, I'm just cruising here, 50 on the meter, 60 now. My GPS says 50 people. Now it's 58 GPS speed. So in Vietnam, for example, you rarely, especially in the city, you almost never go above like 50 kilometers per hour on the GPS meter. There's a very stark difference in the speed and the cadence. So it's both good and bad. Sometimes before I complain about how slow people drive in Vietnam. And sure, it can be a little bit frustrating if you're like cruising in 25 kilometers per hour and you have a few seconds on the green light, but they choose to slow down. So we have to wait for another red light. That's very common in Vietnam, but here they are just more quick. The good thing is that the flow of the traffic is just more quick and fast. So you will get to places quicker, and it's just more, you know, just more oomph behind the driving, basically. Related to that is safety. I mean, in Vietnam, obviously there are many accidents due to many reasons. So I usually say like this: if people drove like they do here in Vietnam, there would be accidents very often. But at the same time, if Vietnamese people would drive as they do here, as they do in Vietnam here, there would also be many accidents. Number two difference, which is related to the speed and the cadence, is just how people drive and how alert they are when they drive. Because in Vietnam, as I can show you footage here on the screen, a lot of people remove their mirrors, or at least one of the mirrors. Okay, and many people don't have any mirror because they wouldn't even look in the mirror in the first place. Okay, so that's one thing, that they are not alert at all in Vietnam. Here I noticed that people actually look. For example, that guy there, the camera probably caught the shot. He was looking behind his shoulder. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a Vietnamese person like look behind the shoulder when they're about to turn or take over another vehicle or anything like that. So I would say that's number two. Oh God, he's red light, man. Okay, this guy was not that alert. Maybe not the best example. And I'm gonna turn off my engine as well because I have like 80 seconds on the clock there, guys. So, and if you're wondering about the bikes in the front there, it's because when you make a left turn, you have to, in many cases, go straight and then get into the box on the right side, and then you basically go straight. So your left turn looks like this. The Taiwanese government implemented that a while back. I don't know how many years exactly, but to prevent accidents, because there were quite a few accidents where people made a left turn. I really noticed when people drive is that they look in the mirror and they use the indicator in the right way, so they can get away with it in Vietnam because they drive so slow. So like I said, if you drive exactly like you do in Vietnam here, I mean, you would crash very soon. Third difference, I would say, is pretty obvious, but the amount of bikes versus cars. So in Vietnam, hard to say exactly, but the ratio between cars versus bikes, maybe 80% bikes, 20 cars, and it's getting more and more cars because the upper middle class, they get richer and richer, so they will buy cars because it's also a status symbol in Vietnam to own a car, no matter what kind of car it is. Whereas here, there are many bikes still here, like many scooters actually, but I would say the ratio is more proportionate, like maybe, shit, I was supposed to make a right turn there. The ratio is maybe 50-50, something like that. making a right turn here. Fourth difference, I would say, just the quality of the roads. Usually the roads here, and I've driven on the highways with a car, the quality of the roads are excellent here. They are on par with even Denmark, I would say. So there are rarely any potholes. Whereas in Vietnam, unfortunately, the infrastructure is not that developed yet. Hopefully they can develop more later on, but you have to be really alert in Vietnam, because you have many places where you have potholes, and if you drive into one of those, you will, yeah, it can be very bad. That's why I never drive long distances when I go for a road trip at night in Vietnam, because you don't see the road, and it's a real risk, because I have a friend, he drove at night usually to avoid the cops, because he was driving pretty fast in Vietnam. So he drove at night only, but one time he hit a pothole, and he basically fucked up his bike, you know. So difference number 5 is that you have a lot of different kinds of vehicles, especially the bikes. So you can see here the bikes in front of me, they are not that big. They have a white license plate, and that's the most common one. But you have a green one as well, and the green one is the most basic one, that's up to 50 cc. And the white one, I will put the correct number on the screen, but I think it's somewhere around, I think it's like 200 cc, something like that. And then you have the yellow plate bike, which is like from 250 or something up to, I'm not sure, 500 maybe. And then you have the red plate, which is the biggest bike. So the yellow plate and the red plates can only operate themselves as a car. So for example, if you have a pretty big bike, you cannot park in the front in this little square here. So that's one difference, because in Vietnam you only have the A1 license, which is from 50 cc to 175, and then you have the A2, which is just 175 cc and above. So here you have 4 different kind of licenses for bikes. That's a red bike there. You can see the license plate there, guys, it's red. Another difference would be the parking, okay? So in Vietnam you cannot park your bike anywhere, like public. So there's no public parking spaces anywhere, and all the shops or restaurants, they usually have either a garage or they have a designated parking spot right outside of their shop. There's a security guard who's in charge of the bikes and keeping them there and not stolen. So you can see here you have public parking here, which is pretty amazing. So I'm actually about to find a parking anywhere here, so I'm walking from here actually. So I will try and demonstrate for you guys. But obviously related to that is that it's more safe to park the bike here, because you can just park your bike here, you know what I mean, and even leave the helmet. Whereas in Vietnam you can really not park your bike just randomly on the street like this. It would be gone. Oh, here's our parking spot, guys. So I was pretty lucky. So I'm gonna demonstrate to you guys how easy it is to park here. I don't need to get a ticket from a security guard. I don't need to worry about it getting stolen. So yeah, that's it for the video, guys. So I just wanted to make a quick video about the differences between traffic. I'm gonna walk from here, guys, to the market. So that's it for today, guys. So thank you for watching. Please comment below if you have any comments about the topic, and take care, and I'll see you in the next video.